everyone. Hope you are all doing fantastic and staying cool in this weather, or if you're somewhere cold, if it's your winter, I hope you're staying warm. But today we're actually going to do a react to Foodie Beauty. So pull out your tacos, let's sit down and have some crunchy taco time with Foodie Beauty. So if you guys are here solely for the reaction, you could probably skip ahead about 5 minutes or so. You can obviously see when her video starts and then go from there. But what I actually really wanted to do was I wanted to make a video when she came out with her seafood mukbang, but by now I'm sure it's been commented, it's been covered into the ground. And the reasons I really wanted to discuss that video was because it really seems like she's entering this world into becoming the next, people are asking, is she the next hungry fat chick? I had a long time ago someone asked me, how do you feel about hungry fat chick? Like, would you ever do a video on her? I think I responded to that person. If I didn't, I apologize. But ultimately, I don't watch her videos, so I don't really have a lot to comment on her, and I don't typically watch mukbangs just to watch mukbangs, so I don't watch her videos. I watched one video where she ate cheesecake, and that was literally it. When Chantal came out with her big, huge, like, seafood fiesta, I did think it was very shocking that the day prior, my hungry fat chick did that. Now, Chantal is a person who's constantly harping that people need to create their own user-friendly, don't copy anyone's content, and maybe she's correct in the fact that she was craving this, so she did it too, but it also just kind of looks like you couldn't come up with an idea, so you stole someone's idea, but that's not really why I'm here. I just always find there to be a little bit of irony in someone who likes to really harp on the fact that there are people who make criticisms and make videos, and then, like, it also kind of looks like she's stealing ideas, but maybe she's not. I don't know. Regardless, I don't really care, because I'm not a person that, unless you're copying video for video for video, like, YouTube is a platform where you get ideas, where a lot of people have the same opinion, so there are going to be multiple videos that look like each other's. Like, there's how many mukbang channels, and I'm sure how many people have eaten Red Lobster before, so I'm not really concerned about that. I guess I only pointed that out to be a little bit petty, because that's something she really likes to harp on, is having originality and content that is solely coming from her beautiful mind. So one question a lot of people have been asking is, do we think that Foodie Beauty is going to be the next hungry fat chick? Aside from the fact that I guess they're both obese women with brunette hair, chest tattoos, and do mukbangs on YouTube, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I don't think it's in the cards for Chantal. I think the better question to ask is, do they both suffer from the same depression, eating addiction, possible binge disorders? That could be a better comparison if people wanted to ask that, but I don't think asking, like, is Chantal going to be as successful in just what she hungry fat chick does on her channel, I'm going to say the answer is no, and I think the biggest difference is personality. From what I've heard, from what I've seen, they both get a heavy part of criticism, but she takes it much more gracefully, and she's kind of just said, this is my channel and this is what's going to be my channel. The biggest overlying thing is I have never seen her say, I'm going to be a weight loss channel, that's what you're gonna get from me, you'll never see another mukbang again, and then poof, all of a sudden it's mukbang central again, and we all need to bugger off, because that's all it's ever going to be. So I think that's where the biggest chunk of criticism between the two differ, and Chantal doesn't really like to accept that fact, and she rather just attack people for what she considers an attack, instead of saying, like, well, you probably don't like that one day I'm this and then the next day I'm that. Instead, you only hate me solely because I'm fat. I'm going to do another video about fat phobia, so I don't want to get into it so much here, but I will say, is there probably criticism on both ends simply because they're fat? Yes, of course. There's going to be criticisms no matter what you do, who you are in life. So I'm not saying she's wrong and that every single person simply dislikes her for, you know, the bad information she puts out, the attitude she puts out, those items. And then I'm sure there are a handful of people that simply hate us because we're fat. We see it, it exists, but do I think that's the majority of what comes down on her? Absolutely not. Do I think her attitude is why we see more reactions to people like her than we do Hungry Fat Chick? Abso-freaking-lutely. Like, who wouldn't? Chantal just... she's just not getting that part for some reason. I'm gonna jump into this video, but I did just want to let you guys know that if I mentioned something about that comparison, it's because that's kind of where my headspace is going while I'm going into this video. But I wanted to also make this a little bit more, I think people could use something a little bit more lighthearted in these days, and her and her story times are always really lighthearted. So let's see what's going on here, because her boyfriend apparently was a gigolo.
Hey guys, hey, how are you? Welcome back to another video. Today's video, we are going to be doing a Taco Tuesday and story time. So I am going to be making some tacos, kind of like lazy tacos. I'm using a taco kit, but the fun is in the toppings, right? So we're gonna have dinner together, and I got dressed up just for you guys.
I do like that color on her. I'm going to give her credit, and I can't see the whole shirt, so I can't tell you if I like the shirt or not, but I like it on her. I don't know if it's supposed to be off the shoulder. Unfortunately, one of the things I look most forward to in fashion is being able to wear off the shoulder things again, because I used to wear them a lot when I had more of shoulders, but now that I don't, they don't fit right. They look really weird. They slide all over. I'm just gonna admit it. Like, your mask gets to be too big, in my opinion, for me at least, to look good in them.
So, all right, so let's get to. Hey guys, hey, how are you? Oh my gosh, welcome back to another video. I'm so excited. I'm having homemade tacos. Don't these look delicious? Oh my gosh. So, yes, homemade tacos on these nacho cheese shells. And I have some ground beef, fresh garden salsa, cilantro. I just love the salsa. I think it's called like Jack's Garden or something like that. I'm not too sure. I'll have to check the package. Some sour cream, and then I have some pickled jalapenos and tomatoes, and some shredded cheese to go on them.
I will admit, even though I do not enjoy mukbangs, even though the blue screen can be green screen, blue screen, green screen, yellow screen, whatever, even though it can be overwhelming, I actually like this background, I'm not gonna lie. And she's giving us a way better presentation than she was for a long time. I think, like, if you want your channel to be more vlog style and it was just like her and Pete's like shooting the shit or whatever, like, it was fine to sit at the kitchen table, but I actually like think this aesthetically looks better. So I'm going to give her credit there. Like, if she really does want to transition into like the mukbang world full time, like, she's doing like 5% better.
Pickled jalapenos and tomatoes, and some shredded cheese to go on them. Yes, and some garnish, some lime wedges. Because why not? You know, make it look pretty. Okay. And we have coldest water bottle in the house. Get your own. Check the link in the description. Use my code. And be entered to win a free bottle.
That is another thing they have in common. They both, from what I saw, chug from the same. I think Chantal got a new one because it's not like that light blue one that she had for a while. The like kind of seafoam green. So that was another thing they had in common, is they both liked to suck down from the same coldest water bottle. And I did, okay, hear me out. Anyone out there want to make a dime where they can make a dime? I don't care. Do you? They both have huge audiences in the sense of, like, if you're looking at someone like my channel size versus their channel size, so maybe they can make some decent money off of it. But I don't know what was going on the last week of July, but I got an email from both Coldest Water Bottle and Teamy to like join them. And I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to say never, because like, what if the day comes where I'm like, I want to make like, I need an extra X amount of money. Like, I better do it. But I'm not going to lie. I don't care to hear this bit in people's videos. And even though it's like really quick and it's just a water bottle that has to be propped up somewhere, it's not really my thing. I questioned doing it for about 30 seconds just to get the water bottle. And then I was like, okay, if you really want a water bottle that bad, like you can afford to buy one. But yeah, that's just me. So I'm not like, I don't care if people do it, but I do want to let you guys know, because I know a lot of people know the amount of money, the percentage you get from Coldest Water Bottle and Teamy, since those are the only 2 offers I've gotten an email on now. Frankly, to me, ain't worth what they want you to do, especially Teamy, because for me, I feel like you're asking people to consume something inside of your body, and you have to act like obviously you love the product and you're like all teamy and you're like, yes, I'm losing weight on it, and it's like so fantastic and great. And so for me, that one's a little bit worse, because you're asking people to consume something which I don't even know the contents of it. So that's another reason I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to get on here and be like, yes, Teamy's helping me lose weight and like it's so great and blah blah blah, when I don't even know what's in it yet. So like I can't email them back and say, I'd love to join, send me your stuff so I can promote it, because I know I'll love it. And then the Coldest Water Bottle, like the amount of money that they're willing to give you for 10 videos, and then people using your link, the percentage. Again, if you have a huge audience, maybe it's worth it, but to me it just wasn't really worth it. So I just want you guys to know, because I know a lot of people are like, do they make that much off the sponsorships? Do they not? Obviously we know a lot of it's kind of like commission based on if people use those codes, so they don't make nothing, but it's not like they're making a living off of it either. So I guess take it as you will. To me, it's not worth it. Maybe if you have a platform of like 500,000 people, it could really rake you in some money. But at the same time, like $50 is $50. So I'm also not going to sit here and tell people not to do it. Like if they need $50, they want to make an extra $50. It's easy money. Do it. You get a free water bottle. To me, that almost made it worth it alone. So, hey.
You want to join the Coldie Club? Okay, guys. So, let's get to. Okay, I'm gonna garnish these. So, I'm gonna put some cheese on top, and yeah. So, right, having Taco Tuesday reminds me. I don't have cheese. This is all the shredded cheese I had left. Reminds me of.
Before we get into it, one last like diety thing. You guys let me know, is cheese hard for you to give up or not? I like cheese in the sense of like a cheese board, cheese and wine, cheese, honey, grapes, wine kind of thing. I never really loved cheese on like sandwiches. Like, yes, obviously I ate way too much cheese. Put it on pizza, put it on things, I'll eat it. I'm not saying that I'm like, oh, I got fat by not eating cheese. But I will say one of the easiest things that has been easy for me to give up is cheese, because like this, I bet those tacos would still, they look good. I'm gonna give her that. I bet they'd still be flavorful and taste fine, and you can probably not even taste that amount of cheese. So that's like probably what, 100 calories that you could just knock off right there. And I'm actually learning that like, I love that cheese is one of the easiest things for me to get rid of in certain things and not miss, because it's not always that flavorful unless you're obviously eating a very flavorful cheese. But it's so easy to knock off some extra calories that way. I also do have some friends. I have one friend who asking her to like give up cheese would just be like asking her to kill her cat, which she loves. So I know cheese is a stickler for some people.
An event. Now first, okay, so I had enough of the teen angsty dramas. I've been watching Dawson's Creek. I've been binge watching Dawson's Creek, because for me it's nostalgia. I grew up with that. I love that show. But I subscribe to Crave, and it has like HBO, Showtime kind of thing. So there's a show from Showtime that's available for streaming, and it's called Gigolos. Oh, you might hear my cat.
Do you guys remember that show? I only ever watched like 2 episodes, but it was pretty funny. I don't know if it even ever had like more than like 1 season. I wonder if that's what she's going to talk about, or if she really did date a juggalo. Also, Dawson's Creek was a little before my time, but if anything, like if you got in the feels of Dawson Creek like I did with like Gossip Girl, I totally understand like the nostalgia of going back and watching it.
So I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the show, but it's almost like pornography. Like it's explicit. follows the lives. It's a reality show about these guys in Vegas, this group of guys who are gigolos. And they're basically male escorts. They're called gigolos, whatever. I don't know where that name came from, but it's a funny name. So it actually reminded me, that with tacos reminded me of a story of this guy I was dating on and off. He was very, I think I told you about him. He worked at a salad dressing factory. We were always getting into fights because he was just so
Wait, he worked at a salad dressing factory? I feel like that is like a match made in heaven for this girl. Like, could you imagine, like, don't bring me home flowers, don't bring me home chocolates. Like, he could just bring home ranch dressing or like whatever the creation of the factory of the week was, and I bet she would just be like, this is the life. And I don't even necessarily mean that as a dig. Like, we all know she loves ranch, and I just feel like, what better gift? I mean, if I had a boyfriend who worked, trying to think of a food place, I don't know, an ice cream place or cupcake place. If I had a boyfriend who worked at a cupcake place and brought me home cupcakes, I'd be even fatter than I am now, and bonus to the relationship. So that might have been like her true love that just dripped through her fingers at that factory.
considerate and just...
Oh, never mind. He was inconsiderate.
I don't know. He was just clueless when it came to how to treat your girlfriend. Like, he was just really inconsiderate. I told you the story, but when I went there, we made plans. I knocked, and you know, a grumpy family member ended up answering the door. Not him. And he was sleeping, and we went to McDonald's after, and he didn't even get me anything. He just got himself like,
is Pete's being like a photographer right now? Is he like, oh, we gotta get a better angle, like we gotta back this up, like, or is her camera just, oh, I bet her cat jumped on the counter, huh? That's probably what it was. I was thinking like, maybe.
And I know what you're thinking, like, okay, well, you know what? I had to put up with him for hours, and I was like starving, and I knew we were going to McDonald's, so I was dreaming of that juicy quarter pounder all for nothing. Okay, so okay, did the camera move, or is it just me?
Oh,
what the hell's
maybe
going
it's a
on?
ghost.
I don't know. My tripod is acting all weird. So, anyways, okay. So
it's a better angle. Maybe the tripod's just like, honey, let me work those angles. Let me get you in there a little bit better, and it's doing its thing.
That's, yeah. So that guy, the salad dressing factory guy, he worked at a salad dressing factory. I don't know if it was, they just made salad dressing, but he always smelled like salad dressing. I think he worked at the Kraft plant that was like in a town nearby.
Like,
and
the perfume that she like desires every day. I don't know what a salad dressing factory would smell like. Maybe it's Caesar, which I love the taste, but I don't love the smell. So then maybe you don't want them to smell like that. But like, I don't know. From the fact that she's like our sauce queen, I just feel like this might be like, oh, like, yes, bring home the scent of my people.
Would always have salad dressing stains on his shirt, and he always smelled like Catalina or French dressing. Okay, let's take a bite.
I don't know what that smells like, so.
Okay, this is gonna be so messy. Just give me a minute here. Oh my god. Nothing like homemade tacos.
I just realized, why doesn't she just do like story times or like drink tea or like drink water or something? Because I just realized that like does the food bring in that many people? Like, I'd be really curious to know if she just did story times or just like, you know, without eating, how much her viewership would really change. Because like, regardless if you're there for the eating or not, like, she still tells like these wild stories, which I feel like people would tune in, because there's people out there who think they're all made up and they want to tune in to see what the made up story of the day is. There's people out there who just enjoy them, and then there's people out there who have like, they just enjoy the wild personality and like shenanigans of her, so they're gonna tune into. So like, I just realized like, there's so much dead air in her stories because she's like chewing, and tacos are like, crunchy tacos are an especially questionable item while you're telling stories. So it does make me wonder like what the viewership would be like if she just nixed the food, and then like we wouldn't even have this issue. And when I say this issue, I mean like people being like, stop monetizing the fact that you got on here millions of times saying you have an addiction.
Hi. So, all right. So we were on and off again because, yeah, so the Gigolo show, this guy was kind of like a gigolo in the end. Here's the story, okay?
Wait, how is someone who treats women wrong, is disgusting and always has dressing on his shirt and smells like French dressing, which I don't know what French dressing smells like, but it doesn't sound pleasing, because if it was a pleasing smell, I think she would have been like, oh, he smelled like French dressing. How is someone like that also a gigolo? Because isn't like the entire, again, I know very limited knowledge about gigolos, but isn't the point of them that they're like typically like very attractive and charismatic, and like you're paying for them to spend time, but that also typically means like they're a certain caliber of men? I don't know if it's like any other thing where there's just like lower calibers of factory workers who apparently don't treat women well, don't know how to have girlfriends, that are also gigolos though.
So we were on the outs, like he would just do inconsiderate things and piss me off, and I would just not talk to him. Then he would beg to talk to me.
Like, wouldn't a gigolo be like catering to a woman instead of like, unless it's just her?
He was just like rude and inconsiderate without realizing it, you know?
Maybe he realized it and she just didn't get the hint that he was like
fuck
her off.
Like, he knew I was pissed about that because I told him after a while. Like, at first I didn't have the courage. But after a while I was like, didn't think I would ever talk to him again, so I let him have it. But he called me up and he was like, let me make it up to you. Come over for dinner. It's Taco Tuesday. And I'm gonna make us some tacos, babe. So I said, I thought it was kind of sweet, honestly. I was like, wow, okay, let's see. I'll give him another chance. Because honestly, I just like attention, you know? I like attention from older boys.
I think she still would. Like, it's sad to say, but I think she still would act today how she acted then if she was getting attention from males. Like, she's made it known that she enjoys attention in the sense of like, she just thrives in it, which I don't necessarily think is a bad thing to want attention, but like, she also makes it sound like she's so much older and wiser now, and I don't know that I necessarily am buying that part of this.
The beef is seasoned, the shell is cheesy and crispy, crunchy, lightly toasted, salsa, cheese. Fresh tomatoes and the pickled jalapenos always make it. What do you guys like on your tacos? Alright. So I decided to go over. This time he answers the door. He's mixing meat in a bowl, I guess, with the spices. I usually just add mine in the pan, but whatever. He was like, oh, hey, babes. Give me a kiss. Go sit in the living room, and I'll cook, and I'll let you know when it's done. And when I say inconsiderate, like, without thinking, like, he just left me there the whole time. Didn't come back to check on me for, like, a good 45 minutes to an hour. Didn't ask if I wanted a drink. His brother, the family situation at their place is super awkward. Like, his brother hates him. We're gonna call him, okay, we're gonna call the boyfriend, I'll call him Dennis, okay? I don't know what to call him. I don't even know what name I used in my previous story time for him. Dennis, and the brother, will call him Phil. So, and then the uncle, who was the caregiver, I think he just inherited Dennis. He just always looked crabby. Like, he just came into the living room once and just grunted a nod, like a hi, and that was it.
Wait.
Right, he would lose his shit sometimes.
So the guy was Dennis, and this uncle inherited him, and was he a caretaker to Dennis? Like, is there more to like, did Dennis have someone who was also taking care of him? Did I hear that right? Or like, was he like, this is his uncle who just happens to live with him, but he's also a caretaker? Like, that's his job on the side.
Just yell at Dennis, like, just yell at him. Like, I don't know what kind of dynamic it was, but it wasn't a wholesome, it was kind of dysfunctional, you know? So it was kind of awkward going there, but I don't know. So Anyway, I'm sitting there. His brother was good looking. Like, he had like nice blue eyes and nice brown hair. And he was thoughtful. He offered me a drink. It was warm apple juice, but anyway. It was a thought that counts. So, finally dinner time. And so awkward. We're sitting there, complete silence. It was like unintentional ASMR, smacking, crunching. Dennis had like, I swear, 8 tacos as I'm wolfing down tacos. Goldie, you never disappoint.
I just can't, now that I thought of it, I can't get over this thinking, like, what if she just cut out all of this bull crap, like, sucking down, and like, I want to know what the numbers would be. Like, please put out some just plain story times in front of your green screen, drinking whatever, doing whatever without making it a mukbang, and let's like see, like, you could have a platform for that. And I also going to interject here, and this might be an unpopular opinion, but I truly think her, okay, I'm not supporting her eating fast food, but I'm going to say people that come at her from the opposite side that are like, this is someone who is in an addiction, and we're like clearly seeing it, and like she makes these outrageous videos because of her addiction. I'm just gonna say, when she does her like fast food and her frantic eating and her like copious amounts of food, I do feel it in those ones, and I feel sad in those ones. And I've told you guys, every time she does a McDonald's one, we feel that addiction more. Like, we feel the addictive foodie beauty. Like, we understand that, like, she had a mood, she had something happen, something's going on, and she is using her crutch, which is fast food. But when she does something like this, where she purposely goes out of her way, she buys the groceries, she takes the time to make them, and then she still sits down and continuously eats 5, I don't know if she'll eat all 5, maybe she won't, and this whole argument will be out the window. And then she eats 5 tacos on camera. To me, I'm not saying like it nixes the fact that she has an unhealthy relationship with food and she has this addiction. It takes away some of that like throes of addiction when it's really, really planned out like this. Like this one to me isn't an addiction. This one is to me her saying, this is what I do to make money, and this is how I'm gonna make my money. Also still feeding the like, I want to overeat and like just stuff food in my body. But this is one of the ones where I would say like we are being gluttonous versus like, and I say we because I've been in that boat where like I'll just make a lot of food and sit down and be gluttonous for the mere fact of being gluttonous over my emotional eating or over my boredom eating. And I think it's really important to know that like we can be both. We can have an unhealthy relationship with food, be obese, have something that like on one level people need like to be aware that like it's not just us overeating all the time, but there are flat out times like this. She's overeating because she wants to overeat and she wants to entertain and she wants to make money at it, and she doesn't want anyone to tell her otherwise. So people who want to like come out here and be like, oh, it's always an addiction, it's always this like sob horrible thing, like we should like really pour our hearts into feeling for her addiction. I don't necessarily think videos like this are an addiction. I think this is her putting on a show 100% and just being gluttonous. And that's my opinion. Nobody has to agree with it. But I don't think the steps that she took in this show someone who's just emotionally doing this. This is someone who's very deliberately overeating because she simply just wants to overeat at this time. It doesn't always have to be complicated is what I'm saying.
It was awkward because I don't like awkward silence. So I was just like thinking, you know, how can I break the silence? What can I say? You know, it was so awkward. So I was just like, eventually I was just like, so Dennis, like, how's the salad dressing factory? And like immediately his brother just like, kind of like chuckled and was like, so Dennis didn't tell you, did he? And then like Dennis like kicked his brother and was like, shut up, asshole. You know, like,
is she about to say he doesn't work at a salad dressing factory? And then what are those stains on his shirt? And why does he smell like French dressing? Is he a French dressing gigolo?
It's still good. Anyway. And I'm just like confused, like what's going on, you know? And he's totally ratted his brother out. He's like, his brother Phil was like, oh, you didn't tell your girlfriend, Dennis, how now you got canned from your job, and now your job is a male escort or a male gigolo, and you keep older fat women with too many cats company for chicken noodle soup. And I was like, what? Hey, I know it's mean. That's his words, not mine. And he totally just described me.
I didn't have to say it.
So.
If she ends the story with like, I'm gonna reach out to him or like see what he's doing.
I was like, what? You know, I'm like, I'm gonna like drill him about this after. They were arguing. And the uncle just like had enough. He's like, can't you two ever shut the hell up? Damn it.
How does she consistently, supposedly find the most complicated people?
He's like, let's go downstairs. And downstairs time in his little room area meant we would go downstairs, we would make out. At first, he grossed me out because my first impression wasn't great of him. But eventually he grew on me because he was a good kisser. So we would just make out and things, harmless or whatever. And I had to ask him, I was like, before we do anything, I'm like, before you touch me, you're telling me what just happened up there. Like, I was getting mad again.
How old was she at this? Did she say?
He was like, it's nothing, babe. I was like, what is your brother talking about? You got fired from your job? What's a gigolo? I knew what an escort was, but... And he was like... He just kind of like... It's nothing. He's like, I have a friend who sets me up as a male companion for these women I see. I have clients. They're older women. There's no sex involved. I don't know if I believed him.
I don't know if I believe her. Like, this whole thing just... I don't know if there's like a high community of gigolos that just exist out there that I'm not aware of, but like the whole thing just sounds really weird. Like, what are the chances that you meet this random person? I don't know if she mentioned how they met, but like, what are the chances that you meet this person and are supposedly dating? Like, he's calling her babe, and I think she referenced him as her boyfriend. And then like, he's also a gigolo, but he doesn't treat women well, and he smells. Like, what are the chances? Like, none of these dots are adding up for me. Like, this story is wild.
I was like, well, what kind of things do you do then? You know? Totally. He's like, I'm a younger hot guy, so I just go over there, make them feel good, you know? Give them a little foot massage. This and that. And I'm like, okay. He's like, just watch, you know, The Young and the Restless with them. Compliment them. Just spend time with them. They want some male attention. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I was like, what the hell, you know? But I was like, what is the deal with the chicken noodle soup? Like, why did your brother say that? What, you get paid in chicken noodle soup? And he's like, well, actually, yeah. He's like, I have this one client who always makes homemade chicken noodle soup, and every time I go over, she pays me in cash and gives me some homemade chicken noodle soup.
Maybe it is real. I don't know.
Probably. Almost like Deuce Bigelow, male gigolo. You know? I was like, I didn't really understand, like, you know, and I kind of like didn't believe in that. Now that I think about it, maybe I was more gullible back then, more naive, so I kind of took his word for it. Like, he didn't do anything with them. I probably did. No. What's to stop him? Like, if a woman was like, I'll give you an extra couple $100 for a blowy or whatever, an extra $50 for a blowy.
I don't know.
You never told me why you got fired from the salad dressing factory.
I always feel like there's got it, like, okay.
But
I always feel like there's a speckle of truth to her story. So to me, this reads as like like this guy probably exists. And like worst case, maybe he did get fired from his job and she found out that like he was like hanging out with like an older neighbor or something who like would make him chicken noodle soup or something. I don't know. Like, I'm not gonna lie, my boyfriend's community, like where his condo is, has a lot of like older women that like he like will help carry in their groceries and do all this stuff, and like they'll just drop random food off outside of the place all the time. But I don't know, maybe I should be accusing him of being a gigolo at this point, because I feel like she would take a story like that, like this old lady dropped off food for us, but like I know it's because like he's slipping her favors or something.
He no longer smelled like salad dressing, which was a good thing, but instead he was covered in cat hair. These women had a lot of cats, apparently, a lot of them. So anyway, yeah, so technically, right, I mean that makes him a male escort or gigolo. He gets paid to give companionship, even if it's not sexual. Not all escorts do sexual things.
That's true.
So now, I mean, it's kind of nice. Everyone needs affection and love and attention, right? So, and from the show I've been watching, gigolos, it's not only, there's like some really attractive women who hire escorts just because they're hot. And
I think in Las Vegas it's a completely different ball game though. Like, I don't know the world. Everything I know about this world, I learned from like Diary of a Call Girl and like, I don't know, CSI Las Vegas or something. But I feel like it's probably a different world in Las Vegas, where I could definitely see it being like, I like am an older woman with money and like I need a companion to show up at these things with me and have that like arm candy. So I feel like that's a completely different world than bum F nowhere Canada and like this guy. I don't know. Maybe it's all true. But like it also just reads to me like, who the hell knows? What if this was just like his grandma he went and hung out with and like she gave him money to like come over and keep her company, and like all of a sudden this is now a gigolo story. It's all very weird.
Now, I did get the opportunity to go with him to a client's.
Oh, proof. She's gonna show us proof from her mind bank.
Apparently she didn't mind, and when he told her, like she called I guess and he was with me, he was like, he's like, I'm with my girlfriend right now, and apparently she sort of said that I could go.
What if it was his grandma and his brother was just being a dick because like
I've always had a very
like him?
eccentric curiosity. So heck yes, I wanted to go.
I mean, I can't blame her. I'd probably go too. Like I'd be like, yeah, I want to see what the F is going on. I mean, I wouldn't probably date someone in that situation, but like if I was, I'd want to go too.
These are so freaking good. Like, oh crap. I had packets of Taco Bell sauce. Whew. Whew. These jalapenos are spicy. If you guys want to hear about my experience, it's spicy, so I'm gonna add more. At this woman's house.
Did she just like clickbait us on this entire story? She's not even
Dennis.
going to tell us about this lady? Part 2. We are starting to do, what the hell do you call that? When there's like a continuation of a show. Like
But my next story time, I'm going to tell you about Sloppy Joe. This guy, whose nickname was Sloppy Joe, met him at a dingy bar. You know how it goes.
You know what story time I want? I want a story time where she's like let me tell you about the best dates of my life. I'm going to assume that that must be Pete's and BB, because she doesn't talk poorly about them. So either Pete's and BB are just like the actual true life boyfriends she's had, and all these other ones are just people she can extremely elaborate on because they either don't fully exist as some people think, or like they were just like one-time boyfriend type situations. But yeah, I find it really weird that someone consistently in their life has only ever had negative dating experience outside of like those 2 long-term relationships. Also, I don't know how old she was when she got in the relationship with Pete's, but it's like, how many people did she have like crammed into her boyfriend years? Because I thought she was with like BB for like 8 years, and then I thought she was with Pete's for like 8 years. So that's 16 years. So that puts her back to like age 20, which, I mean, I know you can get a lot of dates in like a really quick time, but it just seems like, unless some of these are fake, like how many boyfriends did she have in those like concentrated years? Unless every time she goes on a date, she calls him a boyfriend.
Food reminds me of certain lovers.
Of course it does.
Tacos are so good, but they're so messy.
Ugh. I can't do the finger licking.
Okay.
It's like the one thing I can't stomach.
That was really, really good. Good supper. Okay, guys. So, that was my story. I can tell you another time more stories with him. Obviously, we eventually broke up. Just had enough of his crap. And he just stopped calling. I think he just had enough of it too, I guess. I don't know. But let me know if you want the rest of the story sometime. Excuse me. And thank you so much for having dinner with me tonight. And I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.
To wrap it up, if this is what her content is going to be moving forward and she doesn't jump back into the weight loss world, unfortunately, I might not have a lot to update on anymore, because it will just be her version of the Hungry Fat Chick channel. And I don't watch every single one of these, although I did enjoy watching. I enjoy watching some of the like really flamboyant ex-lover stories, because I like to hear people's theories on like if they're real or not. And right now, I think it's really nice to have a break and a breather on all the heavy content and just be able to enjoy her stories. But do I think she's going to stay as a pure storytime mukbang channel? Absolutely not. I don't think she will ever be able to be a full Hungry Fat Chick, and my reason for that is Chantel has showed us over and over again that she has the desire, she wants to lose the weight. And you can be body positive and want to lose weight at the same time. We'll get into that in a different video. But she doesn't seem to incorporate them together right now. She's always either one bandwagon or the other bandwagon. And I think if she got more in that gray area, which she might eventually, she'll have more success at her weight loss. I think she knows that she feels like shit sometimes and that it sucks being obese. And those are the times when we see this clarity of her really wanting to stop her mukbangs. So I think something else is going to eventually happen. She's going to have another coming to Jesus moment, or just feeling like crap one day where she's like, okay, I can't mukbang anymore, and we're going to continue to see these behaviors. Again, she could prove me wrong. I'm more than happy for her to prove us all wrong. If she wants to mukbang till her heart's content, we can't sit here and tell her she's not allowed to. You can do what you want on your platform as long as you're in terms of service. So I don't get into that debate either. I also wish that she would understand that whatever way she decides to go, she's probably not going to find the love that she wants, because I think unless she has 100% like being accepted and loved and fawned over by people, she's going to consider any criticism negative criticism. And even if she went on a healthy weight loss journey, she's still gonna have criticism, because people are still, one, at this rate, people are still gonna always expect her to flip back until it's like years down the road. Two, she's probably still gonna have some of those personality traits that people don't like, and people are gonna call her out on that. Three, she's going to learn eventually that it's not just simply because she's fat. And you can be fat, you can be thin, you're still gonna have haters. Like, I don't know anyone out there who hasn't had to deal with a great deal of hate on this platform. Look at someone like Jenna Marbles, who is beloved by 95% of her audience, but there's always going to be that 1% that want to bring you down and that manage to make you feel like crap. So I think she wants a platform where it continues to grow and where people continue to have a positive spin, and she gets more likes than dislikes. And another reason I point that out is I find it really suspicious. She'll turn her likes and dislikes on when she does healthier ones, because you can see that people are liking it more than they're disliking it. And then all of a sudden they're off on mukbangs. So she just really, she's on this roller coaster, and we're just gonna have to wait and see where it ends up. I've definitely talked enough about this. Bottom line, if she wants to mukbang, do whatever you want to do, but don't also think that your audience is going to 100% love it, because no one's gonna like us. I'm sure I'll have plenty of people on this video hate me, and it's part of the YouTube thing. So for you guys who don't hate me and who continue to watch, thank you so much, and I will see you guys later. Bye.